So it looks like we get to see the merchant side of the show. And the props I've always given to the show is how it really shows you in fine detail of architect and also manufacturing and also financial issues when it comes to our world and its world as well. I haven't seen such a very educational breakdown of a show since Kengan Ashura, which is now on Netflix season 2 or part 2, whatever you want to call it. It really gives you a nice basic ground structure, which you need to understand, what you need to prepare yourself for. And this one really shows us how it means to be a merchant. Even now, being a merchant is hard. If any of us can be a merchant and be successful about it, we all be wanting cash. And I can see why people want to become their own boss. One at a time you were like a contractor in a way. You were making your own bread and butter. So you're not working for someone that gave you a check. You're working with the people and they give you money in return. And of course, paying off taxes. You travel place to place, but you really don't have a place to call home because merchants are made to travel around. So, back in the day where people like to stay in the same place, being a merchant was a very uneasy thing. There's one, the reputation of always thinking about money, and two, you have no stable structure. You get on your own, you probably don't really have to pay taxes because you're all over the place. But the money had to be dragged out from somewhere. First, you gotta buy supplies. So you gotta travel to different places to make connections with different people to buy off supplies and resources you need to restock every time you're running low. Next, another reputation is by the people. People don't know you, they're probably gonna think you're a fishy kind of guy, they want nothing to do with you. So that's when you build up a rep around town, and you need to stay in town for a while, like not just one day, probably 1 or 2 weeks inside of a town and build yourself up, make some connections, and go on to the next one, to the next one, to the next one. Next, you gotta travel. How are you gonna travel? Baggage, carriage, horse, donkey. You gotta think these things out. How are you gonna get food and water? Where are you going to stay? Stay on a tent, might be attacked by a wild animal. Stay in town, you gotta cough up some cash. You're gonna need that money and some dinner to fill your belly. All these things need to come in consideration of being a traveling merchant. It is not an easy life. A life of true independence, meaning you are not relying on no one, but therefore no one has got your back at the same time. It's all on you. And these are the things that the meeting that Lutz was going through. Like Mr. Benno, the new character, was introduced in this episode, seemed like harsh, but he is good. The job he did is to give the chance to people to really think on what they want to do. Is this really the job for you? Do you really want to do this job? Why do you want to do this job? If you do, what will be your core demographic? And what will you be selling to these people? And how well do you know of that product? Lutz has the determination and he has the strength, but however, he doesn't really know what he wants to do. He has the initiative, but how he's going to do it is those two kind of people in the world. I always say there's two different kinds of people in the world, but it's determined on certain subjects. People who know what they want to do, but they don't know how to get there. People who can just plan things out as the way it goes, but they don't know where they're going. And you see that? It's that kind of thing that happens. It's real in real life, man. I'm the kind of guy that I know what I'm doing, but I don't know really where I'm going. And there are some people who know where they want to go, but they don't know how to get there. You see, there's just that kind of gap thing that happens, and that's why it's best to have that kind of partner to help you out with what you lack. Well, anyways, thanks to Maine also being there, she guided him into find out what he wants to do. So he knows what he wants to do, but doesn't know how to get there, and she knows to work her way around, but doesn't know where to go. So therefore, the two meet each other. She wants to make the books, but in the paper, but doesn't really know how to do so or have resources or the strength. He needs something in supply. Peanut butter meat jelly. And therefore, their new partnership began. And of course, if they can create a certain paper without using animal whatsoever, but only plant-based resources for their product, Mr. Beno will accept them as his apprentice. So they got a long way to go. But of course, things are easier said than done. You need the resources. Resources are not hard to come by, especially, well, they are now because we're in the age of convenience, but not back then. So first of all, in order to do anything, to keep anything together, they didn't really have a very stable kind of glue. Everything was used with nails. Now, with nails, you can't just get anywhere. You have to purchase them. But where's she going to go? So luckily for her, another fetch quest opened up with Mr. Oto, where he will take us to his wife, Corina, who is interested in the shiny silkiness of the hair. So, hey, I'll give you some nails if you wash my wife's hair. Okay. And so, therefore, he builds another connection, and probably Corina, who is actually a very relative to a very rich family, because he lived in the north side. It's always like that. The north side is always for the rich people, south side is always for the poor people. It's always like that, everywhere. Anyways, it's just how it is. So she washes his hair. She washes her hair. And it looks nice and beautiful. And let me give you a little something, ladies and gentlemen, with Corina and Oto. Some that I'm not a light novel reader when it comes to this. I plan to, but not yet. I'm so busy reading a lot of other stuff. According to light novel readers, and according to I've read in the manga, a scene they skipped out when Main got her nails and she walked off. Her and Mr. Oto got a little good noise. I kid you not. Not only this was my assumption while I was reading the manga, but also of the comic section of those who also read the light novel readers. Yeah, bless those guys. They may spoil stuff here and there, but when you want some confirmation, they'll give you that confirmation. So yeah, Mr. Oto and Corina had a little powwow. But anyways, heading off that side. It shows like life itself is a fetch quest, In order for you to do something, you need these certain things, but you don't have those certain things. So you can, one, buy them, but wait, you don't have the money. So you know someone who has them, and you do something for them. That's how it was back in the day, Like, hey, I need this. So if I do this for you, will you give me that? And that's how it was most times of the day, where people didn't work. They relied on others and their neighbors, their community, to do that. But now that we're in an age where things are massive and big and people are all over the place moving, we don't have those kind of communities or those small towns where everyone knows each other and are very comfortable trusting each other with each other's works in their own property. So it's another way of kind of communism that Tim Pool also used to talk about, where it's not where everyone is equal, but everyone has a chance to offer up something in return instead of relying on financial stuff. For like, you want a sandwich? Okay, I'll give you a sandwich. Can you do this for me? Yeah, sure. Or I'll give you a trade. You want this? Well, you got that. I'll trade this for that. Or you borrow and stuff like that. Just make sure you have it. More likely, people will keep their word when it comes to stuff like that. But that was back then. I don't know about now. So, anyways, reading comment section, people asking, is mine and Lux going to have a little crush relationship? And to be honest with you, I don't know. I'm actually reading the Raws to part 2 of the series, and even though it don't seem like nothing's really further when it comes to romance, it seems like they have a natural partner trust because they're so busy on their goals to really care about that kind of stuff. Now, the last thing I'm going to talk about is what Mr. Beno said at the end, where I asked her a question about, do you know anything about people having their strange kind of on and off fevers that get bigger and smaller as time goes on? And he wasn't sure, but he has a theory about it could be the devouring. Yeah, I think it was called the devouring. In the books, it's called the consuming, or maybe that's just fans' translation. But it's the same thing, anyways. And I don't know what that means. It is something to do, I believe. I can't fully remember, but I believe it's something to do with magic. It's like an offering. I can't remember fully, but I'm trying to think of it. But it's when you have magic and or a large amount of mana or something, and it eats away at you, at your life force or something like that. I'm not sure. I can't remember fully. I remember someone talking about it on the conversation board, but I'm not going to spoil too much into it. Hell, I don't know myself that much. So anyways, yes, this was a very, very nice, mind-opening episode, where you get to truly understand of how you start up a business. You don't just start out by having all the resources you need, like buying it. Well, you can do that now, just go to Amazon or any other shopping district or go to stores near you to buy what you need for your resources. But you also still got to build those connections, have that reputation, those contacts, that clout, and you can start your own business. It's not as easy as I myself am a contractor, as in I don't have a boss or anything like that, but I do have clients, or people who will ask me if I can do this for them, and in return I'll do that. That goes on a variety of things I can do, such as setting up and breaking down, passing out stuff, or even giving off directions, or helping people register for something. I'm your guy, you know? Hell, even if you want a brochure or a banner or a poster, I also do that. You know, that's just how it is. You know, you got, however, downside is, like I said, you're on your own. Taxes aren't being taken out. And when taxes aren't taken out, so by the time when, tax time comes, you gotta do those 1099 forms. That's why you always gotta save up on the side. So when that time comes around, you got paid off. And plus, also make sure you have yourself a part-time job on the side, like something you can work on the weekends, so you can just go on and off of. So you can have that money also to, cancel out on the money you'll owe by the end of the year. But that's just some financial advice I can give you as a contractor of myself. So, anyways, very good episode. I like it. I was hoping for Ginkgo to do his, impression videos, but I guess he's busy right now. And Watch Mojo already did their top 10, but this was nowhere in their list whatsoever. I'm kind of sad because if you ask me, this is the best isekai of the season so far. It's really good. It's a different, true take on it. Nothing to do with the demon lore or powers or harems and stuff like that. It's really good, and I hope more people will share this anime out to others so they can enjoy it as well. So that's all I got for this. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and of course, hit that bell icon. This has been the Mad Crown on Anime. Signing out.